Hello you guys, this is Latius and Latius, and for this video I'm going to be bringing you Lucien's vampire story. So, come on. Okay, the voice is working. So let's do this. Legend says the person whose blood was sucked by a vampire would be that. Yet such as something is not complete. If a human being wants to be a real and pure vampire, he or she must experience the embrace. Interesting. Oh. Atonement as well as a blessing. It was autumn, and the day got dark early. The clouds above suggested a possible rain, yet the marketplace in the outskirts was still a hot spot. I went back to town after gathering the horsehound, the stalls along the road still in business. Angie, you're back. I got fresh fennel leaves here. Need some? Yeah, sure. The old woman suddenly coughed before she seemed to say something. Are you all right? I'm fine. Just an itchy throat. I'm making new cough medicine lately. I'll bring it to you once I've finished. Cough. Thanks. I'm sorry to bother you and Dr. Lucien. I shook my head and handed her the medicine I made with Lucien before. Also, we know him. Okay. After she felt better, I started to pick the leaves that I needed for making new medicine. Though I concentrated on my selection, I overheard conversations not far away. It seems vampires have been seen again lately. Uh-oh. I heard it. So creepy. The last time was about 2 years ago. The one from Dr. Lucien's house. My fingertip quivered, yet I didn't stop my motion. The old shopkeeper looked nervous and reminded them in whispers. Hey, what are you talking about? They looked over, noticed me and startled, immediately apologizing to me in panic. I waved my hand, smiled back politely, and kept my picking. Please don't take it personally. Don't worry, I already forgot what happened. It's true, I really can't remember that thing. Although, they said my family was attacked by vampires and vanished 2 years ago as the lone survivor. I couldn't remember anything about it. Lucien said I might be too frightened to recall. So people thought I hate vampires most, and ever since I came to this town, they never spoke of them in front of me. Right, Will Dr. Lucien be back soon? What? Her voice brought my mind back. I received the bagged leaves from her and smiled. He'll be back tomorrow. Last week, Lucien was invited by some count from the neighboring town to check out his little son. Fortunately, the boy was fine. Lucien told me in his letter he would make it back tomorrow night. I carefully put the herbs inside the basket as if it contained my expectations. I greeted some shop owners before going back home with my hands full. Oh, yeah, that word sounds wrong, but the hound and fennel. Where's the what? Plantain? Thinking of it, I started to rummage in the basket about to do the person ahead. Sorry. I forgot. Forgot to download that. Okay.
It's me.
It's me. The familiar voice petrified me. I didn't raise my hand in joy till I heard another chuckle. Is this his suit? I thought it looked more grayer in the picture. Lucien, you're back. Dressed in a light-colored coat, he looked wary though joyful. Feeling deeply worried, I bombed him with a string of questions. You said to arrive tomorrow. You got back at night? Aren't you tired? And where is your medicine kit? He nodded, then shook his head with a helpless smile. He took the basket from me, held my hand, and guided me home.
Too many questions. Come, we can talk while we walk.
Oh, realizing I was a bit overreacted, I couldn't help but blush and let out an embarrassing cough.
My business there ended early, so I'm back. As for the med kit, I called someone to return it for me.
Nice.
You weren't at home, so I guessed you might be here.
His voice was gentle. Under the moonlight, his joyous purple eyes looked even more tender. You got me again. I turned my eyes, within something look on my face, pointed to the filled basket, and asked him with my eyebrows raised, Guess what's in there?
It's hard to tell, but...
Before he finished, he held my hand and gently drew my forefinger to his nose. With burning breath, his voice was heard again.
Smells sweet and refreshing. Fennel and horehound.
Oh, he said it, Rip. He looked up at me, his eyes smiling.
Am I right?
Am I right? He was gazing directly at me, as if no secret could be hidden from him. I murmured to myself, "You always get me." Hearing this, his smile got bigger. In no denial, he just held my hand tighter.
Raise the difficulty next time.
Raise the difficulty.
Let's go home.
That's funny. At home, I feel like the first part of Victor's story is on. I don't know, I could be wrong. At home, I found the kitchen was fully occupied and the dining room has been cleaned. I was trying to help, yet the butler insisted that I should stay out of the kitchen. "Lucien's busy sorting out his medicine kit. I might not be much of a help." "Aw, I think you will be." So I decided to go back to my room and make balm with the herbs I gathered today. I placed the herbs in order, ready to start. All of a sudden, everything turned black before my eyes. My consciousness seemed to be pulled away from my body. Felt stabbing pain somehow in my deep throat. Uh-oh. Am I getting bitten? Maybe. I coughed violently before I lifted my body slowly and drew near to the nearby cabinet with heavy steps. The second drawer to the left brown bottle. I found it skillfully out of which I took a pill. No time to fetch some water. I pinched the nose with my fingers, ready to swallow it directly. Ugh, no. That's terrible. Swallowing a medicine without a liquid? No. That scares me. At the moment, knocks from the door frightened me, and the pill fell from my hand. "Who?" That's bad. "Come in." Thirst in my throat stopped me from completing the sentence. The person standing outside seemed to hear my broken voice and pushed the door open. Holding a glass of water, Lucien frowned. He hurried to me, took the bottle, poured out another pill to feed me, and held the glass to my lips. Cool water slipped through my throat as the taste of herbs spread in my mouth. Panting lightly, I finally felt better.
Are you all right?
Are we all right? I think so. After trying to calm down my breathing, I took another drink of water and opened my mouth. "I'm fine." I looked at the pill on the ground and the empty bottle in Lucien's hand. "The pills ran out."
Don't worry. I'm making new ones. They'll be finished tomorrow.
"We need it now." His head slightly tilted. He let out a tender smile to comfort me. Then I suddenly realized that he came back early because he had predicted that the pills would run out soon. Yeah, that's what I Steadied by his hands, I stood up, feeling sorry for him. I felt Lucien's temperature through the touch of her palms, cool and a bit cold at the fingertips, yet comfortable. He grasped my hand, just like this 2 years ago when we first met. 2 years? At the time, I just suffered from the vanishing of my parents and felt lost for 3 days. I neither ate nor talked, staying in an empty room alone. I began to weaken and got a fever. Finally, the neighbors sent for a doctor. Were it not for Lucien, not for his smile and treatment, I could have...
Feeling uncomfortable lately?
Maybe. I came back to myself and wanted to shake my head, yet his stare seemed only tolerant my positive response. Not a big deal. Just minor problems like coughs and dizziness. Though what happened didn't dwell in my memory for long. It ailed me for long. Since then, I became weak and I couldn't get rid of coughs, dizziness, and drowsiness. I faked a smile and tried to get away with the topic. Enough about it. Let's go to dinner, please. I pulled his sleeve and raised my nose. Did you smell it? Don't you feel hungry? I don't think so. St. Lucien wanted to ask something else, but he just put the bottle in place.
Well, let's go to dinner.
Yes. Dinner time. We came to the dining hall, where the dishes had been prepared. Seeing the 2 plates of steak, I proudly pointed at them. "I bought these basil leaves yesterday. They smell so good." Basil leaves. Lucien said nothing, his subtle smile enough to express recognition.
On my way back, I heard that something unpleasant has been happening recently.
Uh-oh. Ooh, the raised knife and fork halted in my heart, had a bump as I recalled what I heard in the marketplace. "Is it about vampires?" Lucien seemed surprised. He put down the knife and fork, looking straight into my eyes.
You already know.
Do I know? I just overheard it. Is it true someone was attacked? Oh no. After a short silence in the air, Lucien hesitated for a while before he nodded.
Someone from the manor said he was attacked by a vampire 3 days ago.
Oh, sure. I got nervous out of the blue, staring at Lucien and biting my lower lip. Uh-oh. Did he see the vampire?
No. He said he passed out.
He passed out. Oh. I blinked and I felt a bit relieved.
Maybe I shouldn't tell you this.
Uh-oh. No, I couldn't remember a thing in the past. There's nothing you can't tell me about the vampire.
Right. I know you couldn't remember.
Uh-huh. I didn't know if it was my illusion. I felt something in his look when he said it. He paused for a moment before meeting my eyes again.
I just think it may not be proper to talk about this at dinner.
True, huh?
But it's too late now. Hope it won't ruin your appetite.
No. Of course not, silly. I swallowed a big cut of steak as if I was trying... I don't know if you want to swallow that, but maybe you want to chew it first and then swallow it. As if I was trying to prove it. Lucien just laughed it off and poured a glass of pomegranate juice for me in case that I got... Wait. Oh, that's how you spell choked, first of all? Okay. Okay, so, in case that I didn't choke, what? Okay. The crimson liquid bathed in the light of candles appeared to be redder and brighter. I fell into a mystical trance. Like blood.
What?
What? I like how he said, what? I didn't know what happened to me, my lips moving and my mouth murmuring. Lucien, I'm thinking... The priests always tell the children that every being in this world has the right to live. Does that include vampires? They would die if they had no blood to feed. Are we really entitled to stop them?
Are you defending them?
Uh-oh.
That shouldn't be said by a human.
Well, we're humans. I never thought he would interrupt me. I had to shake my head lest he misunderstood. Of course not. You didn't hear me say that. Lucien went on before I could give more explanations.
However, the law of the jungle runs the world.
Ooh.
Just like you said. Aren't we feeding on other species too?
Yeah. A bit stupefied, I never thought he would be so blunt. Lucien cut off a slice of beef calmly and put it in my plate.
Of course, it's just my personal opinion.
Yes.
Most would deny it. They are doing the cruelest thing without ever being aware of it. Quite cunning in a sense.
Yeah. Yep. I blinked and looked at the steak in the plate, tenderly treated and a bit bloody. What does blood taste like? The bloody steak went down my throat, silently as I thought about it. The sweet of blood permeated my mouth with the light fragrance of basil leaves. Delicious. Oishi. Yum. Ooh, it's getting creepy. The sky in fall was gloomy all the time. Another month passed, yet the sun was still hiding. Always. I stood by the window and lifted a corner of the curtain, watching the hustling crowd below. Several medical workers were carrying a pale-faced woman to the carriage. All of them looked nervous. I'd be too. Large stains of blood. Hold on, I need to bring it. Okay. Large stains of blood could be seen around the woman's neckline, dried blood on her neck and hands. The crowd was chattering. I heard a word in their conversations. Vampire. Vampires again. The townsfolk had been panicky for long since the manor incident. It took quite some time for them to forget it, yet new victims were found. Coated in the dusk light, the fallen leaves of the ground made the scene look bleaker. I cast another glance at the poor girl, her dress stained with blood like little red flowers. Somehow, I could smell it when I saw the blood stains. Whoa. The smell in my chest gave me nausea. I covered my chest and turned to the table. Someone knocked the door while I was preparing to grind herbs. Come in. Who else is it? Lucien entered with a brown drug bottle in his hand. With a drug bottle colored in brown in his hand.
Why do you look so bad?
Angie, why? Nothing, just... My gaze shifted to the window, and Lucien's eyes followed, showing a look of understanding. He's the vampire, right? He put the bottle on the table, closed the window and curtain, isolating the cruel scene outside.
Fear not. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I nodded and smiled again, pointing to the brown bottle. Is that the new medicine? Lucien didn't answer, but smiled. He took a... What's that noise? Somebody must have just used the bathroom. He took a red pill from the bottle and extended it to my lips. I leaned forward and bit the pill without hesitation. No sooner than I reached to the water nearby, a sweet taste spread over my tongue. Candy! Surprised, I looked at Lucien in confusion. I thought it'd be the new medicine. Why did you put candies in the bottle?
Because the pills are useless.
The pills are useless. Befuddled, I tilted my head. Then I got excited after I realized what he meant. You mean I don't need to take medicine anymore? Lucien curled up his lips. No denial.
Isn't it sweet? I've heard it's very popular now.
Interesting. Great. Can't be sweeter. I also took one from the bottle and held it to his lips. He naturally and happily accepted it. I was shy and blushed as his soft lips touched my fingertips.
Indeed.
Indeed. His smile made me more embraced. I had to get back to the point. By the way, I really feel better now. I was about to ask. Before I could finish, a sudden sense of faint took over me, a bitter taste in my throat. I felt Lucien grasp my hand, for I could raise it to rub my head. He held me up to sit by the bed, his merry eyes dim now.
If you still feel...
I knew what he would say. I just denied. I'm all right. I just had a late sleep last night. I just need some rest.
Really?
Really? Yeah, probably. Not a convincing reply at all. Lucien laughed without continuing the topic. He just tidied my messy hair before my forehead. A light aroma crawled up to my nose. Ooh, smelled like the fresh leaves in the rain. The smell. I held onto his sleeve. He stared at me in confusion.
What?
Wait, the smell? The leaves? Are you going to attend the banquet of Viscountess? A brief surprise flashed by in his eyes before smiles reappeared.
How did you know about that?
I learned his way and curved my eyes. Because you gave off a good smile. The smell. Okay, so he gave off a good smell. The smell, mixed with herbs, came from the perfume I made for him. I remember he would only use it for a banquet. Oh. But in addition to the aroma, there was something more. Something stronger. Lucien took back his hand and gazed at his fingertip as if trying to sniff it. Then he smiled and touched my nose with his fingertip.
Bingo. I'll be back soon. Get some rest. I'll tell the butler to prepare our dinner.
Nice. I nodded and pursed my lips. I'm not a kid. Of course I'll look after myself. Without saying anything, Lucien cast a deep glance at me and walked out of the room. The light of dusk began to fade as cold moonlight cascaded down by the window, dragging a shadow, slim and long. I couldn't help but look outside as the door shut. The full moon looked pale in the sky. Uh-oh. Then I felt drowsy and fell asleep. Tick-tock. I didn't know how long it had passed. When I woke up, I shivered as cold winds blew in through the open window. Shit, I remember. I closed it. I walked to the window, only to find the moon was in the center of the sky. It was about midnight. The dinner on table had gone cold. I wonder if he's back. I put on a blanket and left the room. Ooh, it was so quiet in the corridor that my steps could be clearly heard. He should be back. I gazed at the end of the corridor and quickened my steps. A waft of aroma in the air smelt like herbs, like the rain, and like blood as well. He's the culprit, right? I couldn't tell what it was, but my heart was in pain for no reason the moment I smelled it. What's going on? My steps got heavy and my panting got hurried. What? My breath was... I had to stay myself holding on to the wall. I made great efforts to lift my eyes to see the source of the aroma. Lucien's room, oh shit. A strong sense of insecurity took over me, but I still tried my best to lean forward and looked inside the door, through the door's gap. It was a world in red. Crimson blood spread over the floor like a flowing river. The source was lying on the floor, breathing painfully. Mr. Butler! Before I was about to shout, I looked up only to see what made me more startled. Totally, dude. Yeah, like I said, it's me all along. Yes, under the moonlight, those red eyes looked ominous, like two fresh roses, as if the air was tainted with the aroma. Holding a wine glass in one hand, Lucien raised the other hand. Down from his wrist, the red liquid streamed. He frowned at the sight. So this is his room, huh? Then he leaned forward to catch it with the tip of his tongue. Trying to cover my mouth, I couldn't help but shout, "Vampire!" He made an unconcerned blink, eyes sweeping over the door. He saw me, not surprised at all. He seemed to know I would be there and see everything. No difference in his smile. Even the motion of putting down the glass and beckoning to me was the same as he did. But his eyes are not red, though. Am I right or wrong? On the day 2 years ago.
Here you are.
Where you are, my dear. Here you are. The color of red blurred my vision. The smell of blood seemed to engulf me. In the earlier scene, the picture was fuzzied white. Should have been red. My breath strenuous and steps unsteady. I had to lean against the wall. I wonder what he's gonna... Well, I don't have the evolved version, so I kind of forgot what the picture looks like. Yeah, seeing I didn't move, Lucien walked to me. Dude, imagine being in that situation. You have a cool doctor, a hot, cool, sexy doctor, and he turns out to be the vampire. It's like, oh shit. And if anybody knows how Lucien reacts, then just like cool, calm, collected. It's like, oh crap, what do I do? Lucien walked to me. He seemed unaffected at all by what was around. I saw my reflection in his crimson eyes. His eyes did not look red, bro. He was approaching me, bit by bit. Strangely, I wasn't afraid. He steadied me with his hands, which allowed me to see his eyes more clearly and distinct worries within.
Sorry, I failed to clean up in time.
Sorry, I totally failed up to clean the blood. And now his eyes are red. Oh, he looked around the mess inside. The butler, is he dead?
Not yet. Because he's a low-level vampire, he won't die so easily.
Oh, he's a vampire, okay.
He should have known what would happen to him when he attacked the people of the manor.
Ooh. I couldn't help but shiver with my eyes wide open. The attacks. He did it? Oh, shit. Lucien took me silently. I was sure he felt my emotions, yet he gave me no more explanation. The room was like a pond of blood. Lucien led me through the pool. My dress was soaked in blood, like an entangling vine. You... Lucien stared at me with a seemingly unreal smile.
I know you have a lot to ask. Don't worry. You'll get your answer soon.
Thank you. What do you mean? Lucien put his forefinger to his lips. Yep, he was always so mysterious, which I used to be intoxicated about, but now I just felt confused. We walked to the table. As we talked, Lucien cast a glance at the table and raised a wine glass to my lips. Is it blood?
Would you like some?
Would you like some?
It's delicious.
Oishi? No. I don't trust that right now. I frowned as the sweet aroma flooded into my nose. It was neither blood nor wine in the glass. It was just pomegranate juice. Even so, the red liquid made me take a step back. A swoosh was heard as I stepped on the blood. The color and smell of it seemed to capture the whole world. No escaping for me. No, thanks. I turned my head away, but I didn't know where my stares should be placed. I need a small break. I'm loving this story. It's pretty freaking relaxing, chilling, and mysterious. Haha. Victor's was obviously a lot different. It was like, whoa. It's interesting how in this story we know who Lucien is. We didn't know Victor. I had to watch the moonlight scene by the window to evade the red scene.
Fine. Let's get to the point.
Fine, let's get to the point, dear. Before I could make sense of his words, Lucien pinched my chin, pulled me closer, and forced me to hold my chin high.
It might be a little earlier than expected, but you should be ready now.
Yes. Oh, no. I thought she said, that's why I said, my neck was fully exposed in the air. What the fuck is he doing? And cold night wind swirled up on it, licking my skin with chills. Is he going to suck my blood? His breath drew near as he put his hand on my neck. His fingertip called to the touch, flitting through my collarbone. My struggle turned to be futile. I had to see those red eyes expand and capture every last part of me. Suddenly, a chill ran up my spine. My lips, I've never heard of that, but my spine maybe? I opened my eyes wide and stared at Lucien in disbelief. His fingers scraped over my lower lip, prying open my mouth. Then came the taste of blood and a sudden something. Sharp pains ran over my body, and I couldn't think. A voice was shouting in my mind as fragmented pictures could be seen.
Hope you still remember our promise.
We probably don't, apparently. I heard Lucien's voice in a daze. I broke free of his hand with the last mite of strength and fell down in the blood pool as I lost support. My promise, I guess, take her blood?
Not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, we need more. What? Uh-oh. The blood in my mouth encumbered, mixed with my breath. Mixed something faint and dizzy. I saw Lucien pick up the knife from the table. Oh, shit. Crimson blood streaming down from his fingers. Lucien stretched his bleeding hand to me.
Come. Didn't you say you like the smell?
We do. Fresh smell of grass still lingered on his sleeve, mixed with my blood, like a sweet apple, so captivating. Smells good indeed, quite inviting. Ooh, I couldn't help but lean forward and held his hand gently. The strong fragrance waved a dense web that trapped me inside. My tongue touched the blood, not raw, much sweet instead. It was sweeter than any candy I had before. The invisible tie dragged my tip up his fingertips. Ah. That's what it looked like. Is that blood on her breast? I see, I think blood there, and if you look on Lucien's, is it his middle finger? The second finger, it looks like there's blood on there. I don't know if that's just the line from her collarbone, though, or I can't tell. He's like, look at his expression. His expression's like, yeah, I'm totally okay with this, bro. Lucien didn't reject me. Instead, he even locked his arms around me. This picture is so fucking adorable. I love it. And sexy. It allowed me to reach his neck. A vampire is cold, and always snow white, and always Yuki Shiro in skin, yet the veins beneath contained what is like burning lava, bringing a full sense of warmth.
Now you should start remembering.
Yeah. I heard his voice again, like it was blocked by mist or muttering in my dreams. Eyelids quivering, I couldn't help but open my mouth and sink my sharp teeth into his neck. My vision got blurred again. I felt his blood down my throat, into the bottom of my soul. Hot, bro. Oh, now I remember. The picture gradually got clear. I saw myself running in the woods. It was a raining night. I ran as fast as I could, but I fell down. Then a pair of dark leather shoes entered my sight. With labored efforts, I raised my hand and caught the bottom of that man's trousers, begging with a faint breath, "Please help." The rain flushed away the memory. What appeared before me was a burning hut fire and blood it blended. Whoa. Oh. Okay. He was a vampire 2 years ago, too. I was standing in the center of the room, looking at the man by the door with pleading eyes. Under the moon, Lucien walked out from the shadow and smiled.
I can't help you, no matter how hard you stare at me. Their fates are up to you.
Who's there? I'm pretty sure he's talking about me, but is this when we first met him? Their fates.
But I do remember you saying they were heinous murderers.
Uh-oh. Of course, I would never forget how I ran out from the hut on that rainy night. I saw where they sent my elder sister. How they beat my what? Younger sister to death. Hey now, the couple before me, they didn't deserve to be my parents. They were but human traitors. Oh. So, that took a dark turn, and not only that, what promise did we make? The sudden hatred forced me to clench my fists, even scratch my hands with my nails. Then a voice reminded me in time.
Soon you shall be released from the painful memory.
Oh, wait a second. Can't he manipulate memories? Right? I'm not sure. I don't remember entirely. I took a step forward. The cowering duo scrawled back to a corner immediately. Their pleading voice brought me back to myself. I was arms shaking. I raised my hands only to find my nails sharper than ever, palms filled with blood sharper than ever. The strong smell of blood encased me, corrupting me and luring me. My eyes wide open, the folklore echoed in my mind. Those whose blood was sucked by vampires would be assimilated, yet the process wasn't complete. Most of them would become mad and bloodthirsty monsters. Vampires, no, I looked up to Lucien. His eyes burned blood red under the moonlight. Whoa, a part of me, a part of my soul burned out by the fire. The hut in the distance was still on fire. The fire raged. The nearby people noticed it and started to gather. I eyed the hut for the last time before I turned around in silence.
I hope you won't regret this.
I hope you won't regret this. Yes, I hate him, but I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to be a murderer. Lucien seemed surprised. After a while, his red eyes slowly grew purple. And began to examine me.
A murderer? Me too?
Me too. Even a bit laughing in his tone, I trembled as if I was cornered by pressure and fear. No, you saved me. Though you turned me into a vampire, but in a sense you gave me a new life.
Saved? It seems you think vampires feed to save.
I just told the truth and the word feed. Lucien curled up his lips.
Don't worry. You'll have many opportunities to know if I picked the right word.
Pick the right word? Oh. Ooh. I was dazed, recalling the moment when I was dominated by the bloodthirst in the hut. Lucien revealed no intention for more talk. He turned around, ready to leave. Please wait. He turned back, his look aloof under the moonlight. I mustered my courage and stared at him. Could you give me your blood? I heard it would help me become a real vampire, bloodthirsty and mindless, no more, so...
So I have to say yes?
Yeah. He interrupted me as if he had heard something ridiculous.
Vampires don't grant whatever is requested. Are all humans so haughty?
Haughty, what is that word exactly? Of course not. For trade, I could... The leaves whistled as the night wind blew. Gavin, hearing what I said, Lucien sighed lightly after long silence, seemingly smiling.
Well, I promise you.
I promise you. In the moonlight, the hand reaching out to me seemed pale and long. I took a step forward and reached out mine. Oh, the cold night wind, so is this the future or the present right now? The cold night wind blew my mind away as I released Lucien's neck and shivered a little. What lingered on the tip of my tongue was the taste of blood and cold temperature, which I still remember. On that night, distant in my memories, for the first time, I tasted it. On that very night, Lucien gave me his blood.
Do you recall it?
We do now. Gentle words hovering around my ears. I'm reflecting that night, staring at him and murmuring, I promised, no matter how long, I would. His crimson pupils shattered in purple. When he blinked, a smile curled up his lips.
Yes. You said you will always be by my side.
Forever. I remember it all. I made a promise to him back then. Yeah, I guess so. I asked for his blood, which would make me a real and pure vampire at the cost of always being by his side, but I don't give a shit. I would be there no matter how long and lonesome the dark night would be. But perhaps it was because of my constitution I failed to take... Huh? I forgot a lot of things and I became weak. As you talked about before, I became neither a vampire nor a human being. Even so, someone out there is still waiting for me to fulfill the promise. The smell of blood wafting in the air forms an invisible tie, binds us tightly together. This time, I can feel we have the same blood. I am his creation. My creator. Okay. The bond of blood will connect us, no matter what happens. All sorts of feelings mixed together. I bit my lower lip tight. I couldn't help but touch Lucien's face with my hands. Sorry. I'll fulfill my promise from now on.
Can I trust you once more, cunning human lady?
Oh, thank you. I nodded and shook my head with a smile. Not human anymore. You should call me a cunning vampire. Lucien put his hand on mine with a smile. I felt his skin warm to the touch, though we were cold bloodsuckers. What? This was the only warmth I could feel in the eternal darkness. Oh no, I wanted more. Oh, that was so sweet. Well, that's what Lucien is, but no, he's really not. But his personality, that was really sweet. Vampire saw, yikes. 2 years ago, my family went missing due to a vampire assault. As the lone survivor, with the help of Lucien, I have been living in this town with him. I was in bad condition. Thanks to the medicine Lucien made for me, I started to recover, though not fully. We talked about the recent vampire assault at dinner. More were attacked in the town. The dark clouds of unease hung over the town. Lucien was invited to a banquet while I was resting at home. At midnight, I walked out of the room in pale moonlight and saw a startling scene. It turned out that I wasn't the only one who was staying at home and waiting for Lucien. It was him who was waiting for me to remember the past and my promise. Maybe Lucien was right about the cunning of humans, but from today, he wouldn't have to wait to be alone anymore. Aww. That was really sweet for some reason. Oh, Lucien. Love you, bro. Love you, my boy. Perfect. So,
your mask got delivered to my place.
Thank you.
If it's convenient, I can bring it over to you now.
No thanks. Actually, I bought it for you.
Is that why you kept asking me which one I liked at the store?
Right. You know all this time?
No, just hindsight, I suppose. This is a pleasant surprise.
It definitely is. So, you like it?
Yes. This was my favorite design among all the ones we saw today.
Oh, I wish we can see it. Great. My analysis was correct after all. So, do you want to hear how I picked it?
Sure.
Even though you were praised all the masks in the store, still. It was only when you saw this one that you paused for half a second and your pupils dilated slightly, and then you kept talking. What do you think? Pretty rock solid assessment, wasn't it?
Oh, rock solid indeed.
Indeed.
But I didn't realize that you were looking at me the whole time.
It wasn't the whole time, just...
Thank you. I'm very happy.
Aww.
Now it's my turn to ask a question.
Uh-oh.
Do you know why I took such an interest in this mask?
No. Because of the story of its designer?
Not entirely. When you got the catalog, you found it right away. But it wasn't one of the first products on display.
Found it right away. Oh.
And you stopped at the counter holding it 3 times before you asked me about it. So, miss, how was my analysis?
Pretty damn spot on, huh? She said what I just said. You were spot on.
Do you still remember the story the designer of the mask wrote?
What is it?
Every person will meet someone in their lives that will change their personal trajectory.
Interesting.
And for a long time now, my trajectory has been diverging from its original path and heading towards you.
Hint, hint, sort of, yeah. God damn it. Lucien. I don't think we'll have more. Kick their butt. Where is it? Good, but your blood smells better. Yep, that's totally Lucien. For sure. So, I don't have him evolved. He is going to take a while. A bit. Actually, I only need 8 more. It's Gavin that's going to be the problem because, lo and behold, all of them totally want a fucking pen recorder. So that's like 20, 40, 60, and what, 24? So that's like 84 pen recorders. God damn, bro. That's a lot. And by the way, that says 1,645. I decided to decompose all the thing. I mean, after all the fucking plays that I did on that pavilion, I'm happy that I got that much. So yeah, I can't do anything because I used it up for Victor, which we're stuck. Ouch, my lips. Yikes. I have a habit of biting him a lot. Oh crap, I forgot he's not evolved. Fucking stupid. But hey, son, it doesn't matter when I actually do it. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I think I'm actually going to do Gavin's. I was thinking about doing it tomorrow, but I'm like, you know what, I'm upstairs, it's only 2:02, and I'm in the mood to do Gavin's Twilight Prelude. So this was Eternal Size, Lucien's Date, and it was called Endless Path Date. And with that, I will see you with Gavin's video, Halloween video.